Now, this is just my opinion though, but I think Sonic Frontiers is going to be one of the absolute best Sonic games ever.
Why not? Let's go ahead and give it a try. I think I need to proofread my will.
Sonic Frontiers hasn't been released yet. We kinda know that, because I'm sure someone would have been on the news right now. Sonic Frontiers had been getting some new trailers recently, as well as some gameplay footage being leaked to the public. But of course now, Sega just gives it out to us. Is this bad or good?
Background check isn't looking too promising.
So Sonic Frontiers started in 2017 after Sonic Forces. They wanted to kind of combine the modern style of Sonic and introduce a new formula. The formula is the way a game would play out, not talking about Formula 1 here. A little while ago, when I was pounding my head against the wall, I mentioned that Sonic Unleashed had the boost formula.
I have no clue whatsoever on what I'm talking about.
And of course, make it feel like Sonic Adventure. It makes sense for it to feel like this game. I mean, sure, you can walk up to anyone and they'll mostly say Sonic Adventure is their favorite.
You're asking someone who was holding Sonic 06 before this. I think that would make me a little bit uncomfortable.
This game is supposed to have a November release thanks to our good old friend Info Leaker over in the corner helping us out real good. The trailer is saying that it's for the PS5 and Xbox Series. These two it makes sense for. And they just said, let's put it out on PS4 and Xbox One. That'll make the kids happy. And I cannot stress this enough. I would be dead in the ground before I quit laughing about the Switch version. Don't get me wrong, the Nintendo Switch is a wonderful system, but when you look at the games like Super Mario 3D World as well as many other titles either struggling to have a decent frame rate or struggle with image quality, there's kinda bound to be some issues with this. Sonic Frontiers kinda looks like a game that will be supposed to be pushing the next gen hardware, while the Switch is less powerful than previous gen hardware.
Yes, I like the Wii U. How about you?
A new open world mechanic which Sonic games had in the past, in a way. I mean, you could argue a few games kinda had this formula, and even Sonic Extreme was gonna have this in mind. But remember, Sonic Extreme didn't release, and if it would have a free roam mechanic, it would just be the competitor to Super Mario 64 like Sega was hoping, nothing more. But Sonic games that did release in the past don't really have the open world formula like this one's gonna have. Sure, this game borrows some stuff from Sonic Forces, but Sonic Forces needed to be redone. Have you seen that game?
Which one will make me hate it more?
New character is being introduced, and now you might be saying,
Do you really think they're gonna bring back the customizable character?
well, here's the thing. If you look at past Sonic games, every anniversary game would introduce a new character to the franchise. Sonic 2 being Tails and Super Sonic, Sonic 3 being Knuckles, Sonic CD being Amy and Metal Sonic, Sonic Triple Trouble, Knuckles Chaotic. I don't even think that would be 100% a Sonic game. Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, Sonic Generations, the list goes on and on. But it's that time again.
It's Sage. Don't blame me if it's incorrect, because, I don't have a review copy, so it's a few months from release.
Sage seems to be a villain, maybe? I am not really sure about this, but it does kind of seem like a nice change of pace. But of course, these characters that get introduced in the past normally get brought back as mainstay characters, or at least get referenced a lot.
The customizable character?
That is tricky because they would have to include a character maker in every Sonic game after that. Just watch, since I'm saying this now, Sonic Frontiers is going to have one probably. Open world gameplay along with a new mechanic. Not really a new mechanic, it's the fighting mechanic. Some previous Sonic games kinda had this before. Sonic Unleashed kinda had this with the Werehog, and if you really want to stretch the truth, Shadow had a combat system in Sonic 06. But those games felt like they were mediocre additions. It's really expanded upon here. From the gameplay, it kinda looks like a Sega is trying to take some notes from Breath of the Wild in a way. I don't think this is necessarily bad, as long as it's inspiration. But of course, you can just disable combat and have it do it for you automatically. Where's the fun in that? You can convince me all you want that Ocean Horn is just a Breath of the Wild copy, but I kinda see it as an alternative too, even though it came out after Breath of the Wild. The visuals have been severely updated to the max. Then you can travel across the different worlds in the experience system. I don't think this was used besides Sonic Unleashed, but you would grab XP from enemies, level up your character in a certain area, items, powers, all that jazz. 2D! It's good here, but like I've said in the past.
And they just had to do it for nostalgia.
Sega just can't let go of this though. Why though? When you want it like Sonic Adventure, You just include unnecessary here. Sega is really trying to push the 30-hour mark, aren't they? There is no way I would get the entire game within that amount of time. Sonic 06 holds the record before this game, and I would say it's including the load times. The only thing is that Eggman doesn't seem a direct threat to Sonic. I don't know what Eggman's role is yet. I guess I'll have to wait till later reveal trailers or release. But so far, it looks like Sage is really going to be the major threat to Sonic. Multiple classic stages and new stages return. We cannot get rid of Green Hill Zone. It's going to be a part of us for the rest of our lives. You know, it's okay that Green Hill Zone is being added. You know, it's only been like, what, past like 20 games it's been included with. We also have a few other zones making a return, or just at least being inspiration. Sky Sanctuary Zone, Dragon Road, even Escape from the City kind of makes a somewhat return as an inspiration for a new zone. They're not bad by any means necessary, in fact they're pretty good. While the returning zones are staying relatively the same in this new game, they have been kind of changed a little bit to make it seem like a new experience. And I am a sucker for this kind of stuff. I was playing Sonic Mania and I got excited for them changing one thing in Green Hill Zone. Sonic seems to be infected with something. Now of course, it's story and combat oriented this time. I mean sure, if you wanted the classic good old Sonic gameplay, there is stuff being added kinda get you close to that. But now of course, not really much is being revealed on the story as of right now. We would have to wait later on for that. So with the new villains, combat system, and the new plot that expands on the Sonic universe further than any other Sonic game before, I think this has a lot of potential.
So while I'm fine with more story-driven games, it's just that if I just want a classic Sonic game, it kind of makes it difficult. I mean, sure, there is the option to turn on in the game settings probably when it comes out to pretty much get you closer to that goal, but it's not gonna make it. So, with the last thing to do, we have this one game to try. I have not tried this yet. It looks very familiar, and I hope it's good. I have read it, and it's supposed to be a reboot. I think I wasted my money.